Welcome back to another episode of College Baseball Saturday.
Let's go.
All right, boys, I don't know about you guys. Sun just now poking up behind me. Clayton, we were talking about how quick that thing came
Dude,
out.
buddy.
It's a beautiful Saturday morning. How are you guys doing this fine Saturday?
Feeling great. Feeling great.
Fired
Ready to
up.
go. Got March Madness and baseball today. Like it's a sports weekend this weekend.
Yeah, week 2 of conference play. Oh my God, fire me up. Go to work. Hit it twice. What do you say?
Oh, babe. All right. Let's start. I got something that's just going to fire you guys up that much more. Checking in with our guy Lounge Dog down in Starkville, Mississippi, hosting the Vandy boys this weekend. Let's go check in on what they were throwing down on the grill yesterday. Tipping their cap to the Vandy boys a little bit, making some Nashville hot wings. That I don't know. Even before he showed the grill, just the vibes in that ballpark. I don't know. It just gets me.
What do they get there like 4 hours before?
So if you have one of the lounges, you are able to enter. I think it's like 3 to 4 hours. Like they open the gates. You're able to walk in earlier than everyone else. So yeah, you can start grilling like 3-4 hours before the game. It's an elite setup.
Damn,
that's gas.
I mean,
saw that Flavortown barbecue too.
Yeah,
Flavortown.
Okay, we all decided we don't really have much for you guys on who's hot and who's not this week. One, short on preparation. Two, it's just some shit starting to jumble up and teams are dropping games and not as many win streaks that are still alive and well. So we're going to get right into the midweek madness because we had plenty of it. I will run through these games right here. We had Tarleton State take down Texas. Campbell had a huge midweek, took down Duke and Coastal back-to-back days. Portland beat Oregon State. South Alabama beat Alabama, and Southeast Louisiana shut out Oklahoma and took them down on Tuesday. Big time win.
Oklahoma.
All right, boys. Since we've been forgetting to do it, we decided to move this up on our order of ops here. So we're going with our underdog parlay before we get into the series breakdown. Hit me with your picks, guys. Hit me with the picks.
Dogs of the day, baby. Dogs of the day.
Zach's not going to like your pick, by the way. But
yeah, definitely not going to like my pick. I mean, I guess you could say they got lucky last night, but I don't know, pulled it off. Stadium was absolutely rocking. You already won game 1. You're coming out game 2 against number 3 in the country.
Already sold out game.
Yeah, sold out game. 5 versus 3. I'm going to Auburn Tigers down there at Auburn, Alabama, taking down the Longhorns once again. And then, I see the Auburn Tigers scratching away with like a 7-3 victory today.
Back with the scores.
Back with the score predictions.
Here we go. Scratched away a 4-run lead. I like it. I'm going to go with the team who started the year pretty hot and then hit conference play and are currently 0-4 in conference play. Got swept by North Carolina last weekend and dropped game 1 to Boston College last night. But give me the Cal Golden Bears. I think they bounce back.
Love that. I'm also going a similar trend, except they didn't start the year hot at all. They really haven't figured out a way to pick it up yet. But I think this other team.
That's why they're dog of the day.
Yeah, that's why they're my dog. I think the other team that they're playing is pretty fraudulent. Really like the starter they're running out there today. It hurt to watch them lose a couple games last weekend. They were just handing them away. Give me the Arizona Wildcats with Smith Bailey on the mound. Bounce back and take down Texas Tech at home today.
Oh, baby.
What's that come out to, John? What did we say? It was like plus 907.
I got it at plus 916. So I got 10 to pay out 101. So
Yeah.
I could have won some cheese.
We're 0-5 on this season, but we're hoping to nail
This
one
one
here.
feels like the one. This one feels like
really, really
Saturday.
good.
This one's
When I clicked the button on this one, it felt different.
Yeah, good.
I like pictured the money in my account, or like I'm already doing the math. Like, yeah, this is what I have in my account now.
You have that much more to bet on March Madness now.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah, just throwing on overs and spreads and everything for the next 2 days.
All right. Well, it is time to get into our matchups of the day. Before we do that, let's bring in our guest picker, Zachary Symm. He's been covering Longhorns baseball for quite a while now. So why don't you just introduce yourself, kind of tell the people what you've been doing, how you've been involved in college baseball in the past however many years.
Yeah, Zachary Symm. I cover Texas baseball for a website called orangebloods.com. Also do some freelance here and there. But, yeah, I've been covering the Texas Longhorns since 2021 season. So had a couple of good years in there. And then obviously the last 2 years have been pretty electric with Schlossnagle at the helm. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Baseball junkie in general. So love to be on today.
Originally in Texas.
I am in Texas. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, well, let's get right into our first matchup. We got the Georgia Bulldogs in College Station taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. Last night, at least in my eyes, was a little surprising. I really liked the Aggies at home, and the Dogs come in there and win 9-4. Big win for them. Today on the mound, Georgia will be throwing Dylan Veig, who is 3-0 with a 2.31 ERA, and Texas A&M will be throwing Weston Moss, who is 3-1 with a 5.76 ERA. Feels like a big bounce back spot, in my opinion. Zach, I know you probably aren't too fond of these Aggies, but I'm curious of what your guys' picks are today.
You love those bounce back dudes on Saturday. You hate the winning back-to-back days, but you know what? I'm sticking with the Bulldogs for game 2, baby. Like we're going to roll back into College Station and stay hot.
I'm going to roll with John today. I think the bounce back spot is perfect for A&M here. A team that, obviously last year they didn't have the year they were projected to, trying to find a way to get back into dominating the SEC. I think it's a big game here for them, and they find a way to do it.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually picked A&M for the weekend, but after seeing game 1, I am definitely doubting that choice and kind of feeling like this might be the start of something that gets away from them. But I do like the bounce back. Weston Moss can run it up there, and if the bats can get going early for A&M, no pun intended, early, it feels like this could be a day that they could definitely bounce back for sure.
Yeah, I like this A&M team. I like the A&M offense. I like Michael Early. To be honest, seeing him come out of the dugout and launch some F-bombs last week really just fired me up and made me want to back him that much more. But yeah, I just think this is a spot where you drop a close series on the road and then you drop a Friday night at home, and it just feels like that, not panic button, but kind of back against the wall, got to respond, got to show some life in front of your home fans. First SEC home series. So I am going with the Aggies today as well.
Let's go. Let's go.
Moving into our next matchup. Dude, another one. I feel like the road Dogs were out to play last night. NC State goes into Tallahassee, wins 6-4 in a late kind of back and forth game. The Florida State looked absolutely lights out all week last week, and then come home, you expect nothing different. And this NC State team, though, as we've talked about them on here before, we feel like they've maybe not quite getting the respect they deserve. They've been throwing out some really solid arms and been doing really well. Today they're throwing Jacob Duden, who is 3-0 with a 2.01 ERA. Florida State will be throwing the FAU transfer we talked about last week, Trey Beard, coming off a phenomenal start. He's 2-0 with a 1.89 ERA. Boys, what do we got for this one?
I think the Seminoles give that Saturday guy for NC State their first loss, and I think Seminoles bounce back. I'm riding your train on this one. I think they're bouncing back game too. They're not going to drop 2 in a row to NC State coming in their own park. So I got the Seminoles. I got Miles Bailey hitting another backside 500-footer again.
Yeah, I mean, that guy's crazy. It's also an electric ballpark. Credit to NC State for rolling in there, finding a way game one. No chance they win today. There's just zero chance that NC State wins. It's Florida State all day long. Give me Beard and the Bats. They're going to go off.
Yeah, it's Beard season. That guy's awesome. And then when you have Bailey on the other side, obviously hitting bombs, it's a lot of fun to watch. NC State's always that pesky team. They're always going to steal one, but Florida State's pitching is way too much for them today.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
sir.
all I needed to hear.
There it is.
I'm with you guys. I don't really need to say much more other than playing that song. I'm all over the Noles today. I think they respond in a big way. Trey Beard stays hot, and I'm all over the Noles. Even this thing up and take it to Sunday.
Let's go.
All right. Next matchup, first Big 12 series we featured this year, which I'm excited about. Arizona State and K-State. This Kansas State team honestly has surprised me. Just we knew they would be able to hit, and then even when they went to that college baseball classic or whatever it was, where they were playing some good competition, they pitched it really well and kind of surprised me on how they were able to stay in those games when they weren't necessarily offensive. Arizona State walks into their house and wins 5-4 last night. Very good pitching matchup. Today, Arizona State will be throwing Alex Overbay, who's 0-0 with a 2.81 ERA, and K-State will be throwing Tanner Duke with a 3.43 ERA. I kind of had this one circled up. I really liked the pitching advantage for Arizona State yesterday, but I think these Saturday and Sunday games are an absolute coin flip. So I'm curious to see who you guys are picking for today.
I'm going to go back to the purple pack and the Kansas State guys. I don't know. I know Arizona State steals the first one from them, but Kansas State's like low-key been on a heater with the bat. So, I mean, that offensive performance they put on last weekend was very impressive, and I don't see them dropping 2 in a row to Arizona State at home.
Is their park is it kind of a launch pad?
See, that was going to be my point about this game.
Yeah.
I think I just looked at the weather. It's supposed to be hot in Manhattan today.
Oh, then yeah.
Hot and steamy.
Yeah. The wind.
Remember our first ever Big 12 game, Cole? We played there. It was like 22
degrees. 4 degrees.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think you guys.
And we got no hit.
No hit in the first ever Big 12 game in Cincinnati.
Or like walking around in the dugout with my winter coat on. Like I couldn't. It was like go warm up the right fielder. I was like, couldn't bend my arm because I had too many shirts on. But no, it's supposed to be warm in Kansas today. The wind's going to be blowing out there. It's going to be blowing out to left. It's going to be blowing out to right. I like bats. A lot of runs in this game. Might look at the over. See what happens there. I don't know what the line's at, but I think Arizona State is going to pull through here. I think their lineup is just kind of nasty. I mean, they hit the ball really well. I feel like it's a very connected lineup. I think they put up a lot of runs today and find a way to win, take the series.
Yeah, Manhattan's either cold and miserable or it's blowing straight out to left field. So give me the D. Kennedys of the world because they're taking down Arizona State and getting the bounce back for sure.
Let's go.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm with you guys. I like Cole's aspect. I talked about the K-State lineup, but when I've watched this Arizona State team, I feel like their lineup is very deep as well, especially if you watch them absolutely massacre Oklahoma in that midweek game, which I did. It was just a laser show all day. But I'm with Zach here and Corey. I like the angle of wind blowing out. Again, bounce back at home, even the thing up. A lot of runs scored, very offensive game. Give me K-State to squeak it out late and even the series up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then for our mid-major series of the week, we have UTSA going down to Boca Raton to take on the FAU Owls. Last night, UTSA won 4-1. I do not have a pitching matchup for this game. I can tell you guys right now and give us a lead off of who I'm riding with. I am 100% going with my heart over my head today. One of our former Bearcats, one of Cole's former teammates, Joey Bellini. We can finally pull for the guy now. He started his coaching career at Xavier, and we've had to root against him for the past 3 to 4 years. So I'm excited to pull for Bellini and the FAU Owls today. Plus 150, might take a look at it. I think this is going to be a good series. But yeah, I'm on the Owls. Give me the Bellinis.
I think the Roadrunners are bouncing back for game 2. I mean, they dropped out of the top 25. What was it, last week or this week? And I don't know. They just look impressive. They can swing it, and I don't see them dropping 2 to FAU. I know they probably
won last night. They did. Yeah, they won 4-1.
You might have had scores flipped there, Kling. That's all right.
The Roadrunners from UTSA.
Yeah, they're a scary team. I feel like they're always pretty solid. We even see them like they beat Texas A&M. Like they'll beat someone during a midweek during the middle of the year. They're always competing. A very scrappy lineup. I feel like every time I've turned them on and watched them play. But yeah, I think I'm gonna ride with John and let's get our boy Bellini to bounce back here, make it a series, especially at home in Florida. They're comfortable in their own ballpark. I like them to take one today, and we'll roll it over to game 3, see who can take the series.
Yeah, birds up. It's going to be all the UTSA. That hitting team is for real. They obviously have had some injuries on the pitching side, but their staff is really good top to bottom in that lineup. And yeah, I like the Birds to take down the Owls today again. Take the series.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, and our final matchup, our game of the week, series of the week, Texas Longhorns going into Auburn, Alabama to take on the Tigers. Zach, close your eyes because before we talk about today, we have to show how this game finished last night.
It was bad.
It was the pitching duel that we expected. Texas was lights out all night until some madness happened in the 9th here that we will show you how this game ended.
1 out, Tigers down 2, Pistol Carter, hot shot into center, scores one against got through his legs. Runners on the move. Pitchler around the score. Tigers win. Tigers walk it off in the 9th. 3 runs in the 9th. Tigers win by 1.
Oh my God.
Okay, not even talking about the game. Can we just talk about, obviously, the Auburn baseball has put themselves officially kind of on the map, I feel like, in the past 5 years or so, despite some of their Omaha trips a few years prior. But the fan base, I mean, we talked about they sold out this entire weekend. We didn't really start to see them with huge crowds until last season, but in my opinion, just watching that video, seeing what I've seen this year, I don't know. I just feel like Auburn's starting to put themselves in that conversation of one of the premier programs and atmospheres in the SEC and in college baseball. In my opinion,
they even like sold out the parking garage up like behind up
where you stand.
It was like fully lined up there. I was like, dang, this looks elite right now.
Yeah,
it's got to be like one of the
look
best
a little bit landlocked, but they're going to find a way to get their eyes on a baseball game. So.
Yeah, I would say, Zach, what are obviously I know Texas hasn't been in the SEC for too long, but your thoughts or opinions on that comment as far as where you visited, just your opinion in general.
Yeah, Auburn's been interesting because under Butch, it feels like they've put a lot of pieces in place, but they've never had the complete team. And this feels like this might be the year that Butch finally has the pitching in place that he normally has, but also has the hitters in place. Like they grind out bats, and the atmosphere is pretty electric. The students out in right field were causing all the chaos last night, and definitely letting the bullpen know it, the outfielders know it. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you about this being a complete Auburn team and with the pitching staff, which is super interesting because I remember like week 1, their projected starters for the weekend, like were all 3 of the guys were not expected starters by people covering the game or covering Auburn. And everyone was expecting it to kind of be maybe a little bit of a shit show on the pitching staff once again in Auburn. And they have been as good as anyone through these first 5 weeks. Texas will be throwing Luke Harrison, who's 1-0 with a 2.19 ERA. He's been as good as anyone. I don't even want to talk about the thing is Auburn. If they lose last night, I just think Volantis looming on Sunday feels like you have to win today. I still think Texas has a great opportunity to win the series here. I think despite Jackson Sanders throwing for Auburn with a 3 ERA, I still think Luke Harrison's the better arm. I think Volantis has the edge on Sunday. I think the Longhorns still have a very good chance. I mean, when you talk about losing a Friday on the road in the SEC, your chances of winning a series pretty much go down the toilet. And I don't know. I still think they got a good shot. Boys, what are your picks for today? I know we already know Kling's already all over the Tigers.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys or us 3 weren't there or we were there not too long ago. And like, you know how it is. You get a Friday night win, like, walk off or like a run rule win on Friday night. Like you walk in Saturday, you're juiced up. Like you think you have this series by the balls and you're like, I'm taking this series like today. I'm not going to give them a chance on Sunday. So I don't know, with all the juice, sold out crowd, I'm sticking to my War Damn Eagles and I'm sticking to the Auburn Tigers, taking another one and taking the series today.
I don't hate your pick, Kling, but I think Texas, the way they lost the game, I think they've dropped 2 in a row because they dropped their midweek as well.
Yeah.
The Longhorns are going to find a way to win today. They had it set up last night. Obviously, if that ball doesn't get by center fielder there, we never know what happens. It still could be a tie game going to extra innings. But I like the Longhorns, so I'm going to ride with the Longhorns today in the burnt orange.
Zach?
Yeah, it's funny. In my preview, I actually picked Auburn to win the series just because if you look at home series in the SEC, it's like 65% of the time home team wins. But the matchups on this are pretty intriguing, right? Like with Luke Harrison, he's not super sexy, but the Longhorns are 17-3 in his last 20 starts.
Yeah.
So, if he's going to give them a chance to win and he can give you 4 or 5 innings, Texas got a lot of really good arms still sitting there in the bullpen. And so it comes down to depth. Does Auburn have the depth at pitching to get by? And it's a tough one. I think Auburn probably does take today, but I think Texas probably wins on Sunday to avoid getting swept. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Auburn responds too, because Texas they bounce back really well. Like they don't usually take the loss very easily. So
yeah.
So we're publishing that you're taking the Auburn Tigers. Is that true?
true. Yeah.
I was riding with you.
I am. I'm sure you guys probably thought I was going to go Texas from what I said. I think today is going to be a dogfight of a game, and tomorrow. You talked about SEC series at home being around 65% win rate. The Auburn Tigers alone, I believe, have won 20 out of their last 23 home series or something crazy, even higher than the rest of the SEC or any team in the country. Give me the Auburn Tigers today. I'm with Kling. They've had this Saturday game sold out for a week. Feels like they absolutely stole one late last night. And these boys are going to find a way to win the series. I think Volantis on a Sunday is just not fair. So I think the Longhorns find a way to take Sunday for sure. But give me the Auburn Tigers today.
Ooh, Cole.
All right, I'm riding solo on 2 different points today, I think.
Yeah, you are.
That's fine.
How's it feel, buddy?
Roger the Bearcats sweeping Utah.
I'm still up on I have the best record still, Kling. You're like 12 games behind me.
I know.
Let's say,
yeah,
let's go
James
over
Reed.
the records real quick. Yeah,
Tell you what
holler at
James Reed
James Reed
does.
real quick.
I
while
mean,
I'm pulling up
James
the
Reed.
records.
Bearcats, go Cats.
You can not hurt our feelings, Zach, but I mean, we're all three Bearcat alums, just graduated a few years. Have you have the Cincinnati Bearcats caught your eye yet?
Well,
I actually had them ranked as like the 26th or 27th team in my top 25 poll.
Nice.
So they that's a scrappy team. Like they know how to play and they know how to hit. They had some impressive games early in the season against like Auburn and some other teams.
Auburn,
So
yeah.
They've been fun to watch.
We'll see.
They
Yeah.
had
was
they had
a
to catch his
prediction.
eye on that. They had to catch his eye on that Carrington Cross home run and Globe Life a couple of few years.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
one had to.
Yeah.
So
for
that
sure.
was honestly one of my still my favorite wins to watch, just because it was I was 1 year removed and it's Texas
Yeah.
baseball, and
it
it's
was our first year in the Big 12, and we were never supposed to go to the Big 12 tourney nor beat the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah.
Who's Cincinnati coming into Globe Life beating Texas Longhorns?
It was a year
Yeah.
prior. If you were to tell, we had no business beating the Texas Longhorns
Yeah.
in a conference tournament game, but it was awesome to watch. The records right now, I am sitting at 15-10. Cole's sitting in the lead at 16-9. And Kling had a big week last week. He's 12-13. He's right on our tails there.
not
So,
above 500 yet.
yeah, we get there today.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, Zach, I appreciate you taking some time out of your Saturday morning to come and join us. It was awesome to get to meet you and get to hear some of your ball knowledge on these Saturday matchups for us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
me
it, Zach.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, that will wrap up this week's show. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.